Thank you so much for coming. We are so excited to have Brynn here today. So as Anthony just said, Brynn founded Mirror, the connected fitness device that I thought was amazing. She launched it on our stage here in 2018, sold it 2 years later, and she's back to launch her next product, which we're very excited about, and she's going to tell you all about it. And I just wanted to let you know, if you want to check it out for yourselves, you can find it in our expo hall on the second floor, and I suggest that you do that. Brynn, take it away. Tell us what you're building here. Thank you.
Shall we play a game?
Oh.
I am unbelievable.
Every goal, you're going to
Look at
watch
it.
the instant
Just look
replay,
at
so
it.
you got the game.
Now be careful, R2.
Yeah. I am taking over South America, and there ain't nothing you can do about it.
God damn it.
I'm ripping your head off right now.
J7.
I hit. You have sunk my battleship.
Excellent! Yeah!
Games have been with us for thousands of years, providing countless hours of pure fun, a much-needed breather amid our busy lives. But what makes games truly special is that they give us a reason to connect with each other. My favorite memories of playing games are playing with other people, sitting around the Monopoly board, fighting over who gets to be the thimble, or racing around Rainbow Road with my kids in Mario Kart. About 2 years ago, I asked the question, why can't we have both? The tactile feel and togetherness of board games and the immersive magic of video games. A team of us started working on an answer. Introducing Board, the first ever face-to-face gaming console that combines the best of board games and video games into one beautiful new platform. We spent 2 years training the screen to do something no other touchscreen can do: recognize physical pieces. Place a piece on the board, and it knows exactly what it is, where it is, and what it can do in real time. And every piece unlocks entirely new ways to play together. Take a look.
Want to play a game? How about something a little different? It's called Board, a revolutionary new way to play games. A big, beautiful screen for everyone to gather around that lets you play with physical game pieces, which means that you can do things like this. And this. Run a chaotic kitchen. Zap space rocks. Rescue tiny travelers. Share experiences that were never possible before. So what do you say? Ready to play?
Thank you. As we built Board from the ground up, we were guided by 3 core beliefs. Our foundational belief is that nothing replaces face-to-face interaction. Board is meant to bring people together in person, sitting around a table, laughing, trash talking, and making memories, stuff that's a lot less fun to do alone. The second core belief is that pieces change everything. Pieces interacting with the screen represent Board's superpower and create an intuitive play experience for all ages and skill levels. To make this work, we built an entirely new tech stack, including a custom touch driver, machine learning models on embedded AI hardware, and capacitive material manufactured into the pieces. And boy, have we patented it. It's like the first time you pulled back an angry bird in the slingshot and let him fly. Take a look at Save the Bloogs. You're trying to help these cute little aliens through different levels using a variety of pieces, like a cannon and stairs. These adorable creatures react to where you place each piece. Maybe you're looking for something a little more retro. In Space Rocks, you'll use your spaceship to blow up asteroids, collect minerals, and unleash the Mega Beam. The last thing that we think is important is that we had to make totally new games for Board. The screen, the pieces, and the games are part of an exclusive experience with endless possibilities. There are already 12 original games today, but our vision for Board is to create a platform with a developer ecosystem. We plan on launching an app store next year, and I'm sure many brains in this room are already thinking up new ideas. Games are a universal language that everyone understands. They've always been a great connector, sparking creativity and helping us recharge our relationships. We call it Together Tech. We need it now more than ever. It's available today at board.fun, and we look forward to inviting Board into your homes.
Thank you, Brynn.
Thank you.
Well, I think this is so cool. I think it's interesting that you built this very successful product that was very focused on one person, and you've come up with this product that aims to bring people together. I mean, I guess what changed?
I've always built from my own personal need. I've always had a personal problem and tried to find a solution in the world and then been frustrated it doesn't exist and then started to build. And this was really no different. When I founded Mirror, I was newly pregnant with my first child. And now fast forward and I have 5 kids ranging from ages 2 to 21. And so we were really struggling to figure out ways to come together and connect that didn't involve sitting on a phone in front of a movie. And so this was Board was built out of personal frustration and need.
And I love that it's, yet another sort of portal in the home, a new screen, which I think is brave and interesting. And I just wonder, after you sold Mirror to Lululemon, how soon did you start thinking about this particular product? Was there a certain moment where you thought, this is what I want to do next?
I spent about 6 months after leaving Lululemon just recharging and exploring the world and spending time with friends and family. And then I think if you're someone who likes to build, you sort of get the itch. And when something bothers you, you start building. So it was shortly thereafter that I started playing with ideas.
That's great. Well, I guess you also had lots of contacts and context. So tell us a little bit about the product itself. It's hard to know looking at this. How big is the board?
Yeah, Board is a 24-inch large screen in a beautiful frame. So it's large enough for 4 to 6 people to sit around playing face-to-face, laughing and connecting, but also small enough that it can sit on a coffee table, a couch, or the floor. And its superpower is that it recognizes not just touches and gestures, but also physical objects. So it knows exactly what the piece is, where it is on the device, its orientation, and what it's doing in real time.
So it's a $500 product, $50 with the promo code TC2025. And then how many board pieces are there?
It comes with 12 of our launch games included and all of the pieces for those games, which is about 50 pieces.
Okay, great. But you said you can use touch as well in case you lose a piece or...
If you lose a piece, you can reach out to us and we'll send you a new piece.
Okay, great. And I think I'd seen somewhere in one of our exchanges that there are even like different colored frames, which is sort of fun.
Yeah, so today it comes just with the light wood finish frame, but over time the frame is magnetized and comes off, so we expect people to customize and get different frames for their own tastes and home environments.
Cool. So who designed the games?
We have an internal game studio that worked with a lot of incredible external game development studios. So we're really fortunate to partner with game developers from all over the world.
And also, so just to be clear, this is available today now on your website.
Exactly, today.
And it's also
today.
it's going to be in retail stores.
Yes, we're also fortunate that Camp named us their gift of the season, and you'll be able to also buy Board in Camp stores throughout the U.S.
That's great. And I think we're getting a Camp store maybe here in San Francisco soon.
I think so, yeah.
Which is great. But I think what's really interesting about this board is that it's not just for gaming, but gaming is obviously the big entry point. Why is that?
I think that play is just universal. Play is something, with fitness, not everyone loves working out and not everyone loves working out at home, but play really unites us. It's sort of this universal language that connects us and brings us together. So that's what's really exciting for me and what I'm passionate about.
That's great. And then you do see a future where you'll, I guess maybe even immediately, can you put playlists on it and photos, or is that?
I think that what we're really building here is a platform and a developer ecosystem. So our SDK is available today. All of our launch games were built using that SDK, as I said, in partnership with external studios. So we're really excited to see where the platform goes from here. So today, professional developers can build on board. In the not so distant future, we expect non-professional developers to be able to build experiences, bring them to board, and then eventually anyone can build on board. So we're excited to see with this kind of beautiful shared device in the home what experiences grow.
Yeah. And how will you think about, I guess, kind of an open app platform versus curating everything that goes into this product?
I think early days curation is important to really establish what a board experience is. So we are certainly going to balance kind of letting 1,000 flowers bloom with a review process that ensures, safety and a high bar of quality.
Also, I think what's interesting about this, again, is just the different kind of, applications. So you're starting in the home with families, you're bringing them together, but there are kind of commercial applications here. This could be in hotels and educational settings. Tell us a little bit about what you see happening there.
We've been just so amazed. Obviously we're on day one, but we've already had incredible outreach from restaurants, hotels, education. One of our first inbounds actually was from a museum interested in using it as part of an interactive exhibition. So I think anywhere where people gather, there's a place for this kind of device for shared experiences with tangible and intuitive controllers.
And then I wanted to ask if it's possible to personalize the device in any way, or if that maybe is coming down the road.
Yeah, so we're really excited about the long-term power of AI to personalize the experiences on the device. So you can imagine vision and voice inputs, storylines that are adaptive, dynamic environments, accessibility features like translation and voice to text. And then, as I said, over time, AI really makes anyone able to create on board. So board becomes more than a game console. It becomes a place for creative self-expression.
And are you building on top of one of the big LLMs, or is this?
No, we built everything from the ground up. So all of the models are proprietary to board using our own custom data set built from hours of our own training.
And so this is not something that could have existed a few years ago?
No, I mean, when we developed Mir, there was no real ability to run meaningful AI models on a compact device. So now the devices do have neural coprocessors built in. The ability to run AI models fast and on device is now possible and very exciting.
Great. Well, okay, we do have investors in the audience, I'm quite sure. I did want to talk to you about your funding situation. Are your backers the same backers that backed Mir? I know Ben Lear is one of them, but I'm not sure who the others are.
Yeah, we're so fortunate to have so many of the same investors from Mir back for round two, like Ben Lear and the folks at First Round and Box Group. So very, very excited. We've raised $15 million to date in a pre-seed and seed round.
And I mean, an entrepreneur with your background is, very attractive to investors. So I just wonder, did they invest in you even before you had this idea, or did it come together as you were talking with the VCs, or did you pitch this as a fully formed idea?
No, I've been very fortunate to have investors who've sort of believed in a vision before product, and so it was the same here. They were investing really in sort of the idea and the vision, and then from there we assembled an incredible team who executed.
That's great. And you are raising more money, though.
Yes, we're about to kick off our Series A.
And knowing what you learned at Mir, I'm curious what you can tell us about, I guess, supply and demand. How are you thinking about how many of these to make, for example, and how you get them into the world?
Yeah, so it's always exciting to launch a new consumer product in time for the holiday. So right now, we're fortunate to work with a tier 1 CM out of Thailand who's very adept at quickly scaling manufacturing, and we're going to do our best to get as many boards into homes in time for the holidays.
That's great. And what about, I guess, competing with, the iPad or other screens? That seems like a big hurdle to overcome.
Yeah, I think for us, we don't we think of the iPad as really a device where the screen is the experience. You're sort of more solitary. It's sort of you and your device. It's a personal computer. Whereas what we're building is a shared experience. So it's not about the screen being the experience. It's about the screen bringing us together to create memories. So that's why we call it Together Tech. So I think it's for a very different use case.
And I think that's cool. I also think it's hard to communicate to people that here's a totally new category. So I am wondering if you can talk a little bit about how you plan to market this product.
Yeah, I mean, I think just as with Mirror, creating a new category is challenging. I think it's really about storytelling. So I think we're fortunate that it's a beautiful product and it's visually very compelling, and it's figuring out how to make the story as clear as possible, and also to empower our early fans and advocates to advocate for us with others. So the nice thing about games is every time someone plays a game, they bring other people into the play experience. So the word sort of naturally spreads that way, which is really exciting.
You did something so right with Mirror. I think it was I just felt like I saw every celebrity on the planet using one of these, and I wondered if that's part of the strategy, in terms of early adopters, making sure that these are in the hands of people that are in public and can spread the message.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of game nights with lots of different communities, and really excited to sort of just get it in front of people and let people play.
Great. So, again, you've got such a fascinating background, which we haven't gotten into fully. I mean, you graduated from Harvard, you were a ballet dancer in New York. Then you founded a small chain of fitness studios. Then you founded Mirror. Now you're here. You were inside of Lululemon for a while. What was that experience like? Because you have mostly worked on your own. What was it like being inside of a big company? I mean, you didn't stay long.
Yeah, it's definitely a change for me. I think, when you're a founder, you're setting a vision and doing your best to help drive people kind of up the hill towards that vision. Whereas when you're operating as part of a larger organization, you're much more of a GM. You're responsible for a small business unit and really navigating the needs and relationships of a bigger organization. So for me, that was my first job and my first real boss, which was definitely a change from being an entrepreneur.
And I guess for the founders in the audience, would you have any advice for them in terms of what to think when they do get that knock on the door and somebody wants to buy the company? Maybe what was great about the experience and maybe what you didn't expect?
Yeah, I mean, I think throughout the course of your business, you're always selling part of your company, whether it be through fundraising or an IPO or an acquisition. So I think, you should know your acquirer. You should know why they're acquiring you, and you should know what to ask for in terms of making the experience successful for you and your team and your product. And then once you're there, you have to behave with grace and do your best to learn.
And so we know that the board itself is sort of games are maybe a springboard to many other things that you want people to do with this board. Do you imagine creating more hardware as well under this same company?
Yeah, I think what's so exciting about board is there's so many sort of business lines here. There's the hardware, there are the games, there's the platform for other people to create experiences on top of, and then all sorts of add-ons, be it accessories like frames or storage cases or custom pieces and special editions, or potentially even a content subscription.
Great. And I just wanted to ask again, it's interesting to me that you went from solo founder, solo founder, but focused on, individual improvement to bringing people together. And I just wondered, what you think of when you look out 5 years, I guess, what you think is going to be, how people are going to be sort of relating to one another, and what you sort of anticipate on that front.
What I hope, I guess.
Yeah, what you hope.
I'll share what I hope. I hope we live in a world where tech brings us together. I hope we live in a world where tech enables us to connect and share experiences in a way that is meaningful and improves our relationships.
And in terms of your team, how big is Board at this point?
I think we're about 20 people today, and
Okay.
then we have, as I said, a lot of external game studios that we've partnered with to create our launch portfolio.
And have you brought back some people from Mirror?
I'm so fortunate to have a lot of my colleagues from Mirror back again for round 2.
You know, one thing about Mirror that I thought was really interesting was you had imagined that it was going to be potentially a portal into many other things. And we are all spending more time, outside of offices. Outside of doctors' offices. We're doing more. We're meeting our doctors remotely. We're working from our homes. I mean, is it too far to say that this board could become a different kind of portal one day, as you kind of imagine that Mirror could be?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing with Mirror was, we weren't creating an ecosystem. We weren't really creating a platform. We really controlled the content throughout the experience. And here, from day one, our goal really is to build a platform and an ecosystem. We believe that there's going to be many multi-billion-dollar businesses built on top of Board. So our job and our role is to create an incredible platform for other people to build whatever those experiences might be. And we're sort of kicking it off with this first set of content.
That's great. Well, I am just wondering, so you mentioned it's being manufactured in Thailand. Is that your previous manufacturing partner?
It's not our Mirror manufacturing partner, but our hardware team has worked with them previously.
Great. Well, listen, it's so great to hear about your product, and
Thank
I'm really
you.
excited, and I really encourage everybody to go downstairs and check it out yourselves. And thank you so much, Brynn.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
You're gone.